Hello, hello, hello. It's Cassandra, the card reader, and welcome to tonight's live stream. The title of it is, what is it? Get Crazy Accurate Tarot Readings. The question matters. So basically, we're going to be talking about the art of questions and the art of putting a tarot spread together. So I am Cassandra, the card reader. Obviously, this is my channel. I have a website, quickcardreading.com. I'll put a link in the description if you want to sign up for my newsletter and get notified of these live streams and other fun things like free tarot card downloads and weekly tips and tricks for reading tarot, stuff like that. So yeah, so let's get started. I will be taking questions for readings with the cards as examples to what I'm talking about. So if you have questions, you can put them in the chat and hopefully I'll get to them as just as examples for what I'm talking about. So I don't think we have anyone here live because it says one, but I think that's me because I have this open in the other tab. Yeah. It appears to be going live in the other tab. So let me just go through the presentation here. Share my screen, sharing screen. Okay, so this is, like I said, this presentation is basically the art of asking questions. So here we go. So introductions, I already said, I'm Cassandra, the card reader. Welcome. Oh, Julia's here. Hi, Julia. I see you. Hi, Julia. Yeah, so I'm Cassandra, the card reader, and this is the Speakeasy number 4. And so let's get going. Okay, so Julia is the only one here, but we can go ahead and do the introductions. Just put in the chat, where in the world are you? Your tarot experience. Do you consider yourself A, a newbie, B, getting a feel for it, C, comfortable with it? And then finally, what card expresses your circumstances and or mood today? So even if you don't know a lot about tarot, just pick a card. Just pick a card and let us know what card expresses your circumstances and or mood today. All right, so I don't know. I'm gonna take a look. Well, I have one card that popped out here that I might use. Yeah, I think my card for today's is the Hermit. I've been feeling pretty hermity, like I don't really want to talk to anybody. And I scheduled a live. I'm like, great day to have a live. I don't feel like talking to anybody. Feel like being a hermit. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying my card for today is the Hermit. I'm gonna put that in the chat. I would just rather sit and read and study stuff, but that's fine. We can do the live. All right. So, oops, I didn't need to do that. All right, moving on. Okay, so this is what I want to cover, and as usual, my sometimes I'm over ambitious with what I want to get done in these lives. So this is what we're shooting for. These are the bullet points. How questions and spreads go hand in hand. So your question and your spread, the magic of tarot is that you can tailor your spread to your question. Then how to link your question with the spread. And actually, these are not really going to be separate sections. I'm going to give you some example spreads and questions, and it's going to kind of hit all these points. So, but this is what we will be talking about. Julia says, I'm okay today, still learning tarot. Yes, I am in hermit mode. So we've got 2 hermits on YouTube live together. We'll see how that goes. All right. Okay. So how to link the question with your spread, how to craft clear, unambiguous questions, what to do when you need guidance but don't know what question or questions to ask. But wait, there's more. how to spot holes in your question, how to properly use yes or no questions for maximum impact, an adjustable all-purpose question format, an adjustable flexible spread format, and how to start and continue a dialogue with tarot. All right, so that's what we're trying to do with today. So in this first example here, someone might have a question, will I get the job? That might be their question. So some possible ways to do that spread would be yes or no, and lay one card. Go, will I get the job? Yes. Will I get the job? No. So this is going to why sometimes you may have heard like don't do yes no questions, and I actually didn't do yes no questions for years until I realized you can do yes no questions, but the problem with yes no questions is they can just leave you hanging. So like if someone asks me will I get the job and I lay a card and I say yes or no, then it's just like and nothing. You know what I mean? And especially if it's not what the person wanted to hear, when you pull a card and the answer is no, it's just kind of a letdown. There's not really anything, there's no other information there. There's no supporting information. There's no suggestions. So that's kind of why you might have heard like, don't do yes, no questions, but you can do yes, no questions. So I'm going to get to that later. But this is just one example of question and answer with one tarot card. You could ask that same exact question again. Will I get the job? And then if any of you have been around me for any length of time, which Julia has, she has seen this. This is my go-to spread here. This is like a relationship spread. You can have the person asking the question, which in this case I put as me. I have the job as another card, and then the outcome between us. So you can lay a card for the person asking the question, a card for the person asking what it's about, which in this case is the job, and then the outcome. So you can see where if you do this, you get more information than if you just did yes, no, and then you're just like, oh, and then there's nowhere to go. This gives you more. You can build on this even. So let's look at this. You could add other applicants. You might want to know, how do I stack up against the other applicants? How's it looking? And so you put a card down for that. Or you might want to know, hey, are these people in a hurry to hire? Because kind of thinking that they're not really, that they're not looking to hire soon. How sometimes you find out that it's like, oh, they really don't even have the budget for it, but they're interviewing people. So like if you had a question about something about the job, like, are they looking to hire? Hi, Carl. Hello, Carl. If you find out that, if you want to know if they're looking to hire, or if you want to know, I don't know, anything about something on the job side, you could add a card for that and get even more information. So this is just showing you how, like, you might want to start building a spread, because you can make this spread whatever you want the spread to be. It doesn't have to be anything. So it's like, what do you want to know? And make sure you build that into the spread. Okay, so now we're over here with the yes, no questions, like I was saying. So you can do yes, no questions, and they can be very enlightening and very effective. But the thing is you have to do it kind of like a flow chart. And I'm sure you've seen something like this, like a flow chart where it's like, if yes, go this way, if no, go that way. If yes, go this way, if no, go this way. So this example has start, and then it says, are you happy? Answer is yes, very good, have a great day, stop. If the answer is no, you go this way, and it says, do you want to be happy? And then if the answer is yes, you go very good, then you are already happy, and then you stop. And if you want to be happy, and the answer is no, gosh, start all over again. So you have to drill down with your yes, no questions. So it's like, will I get the job? Yes. If yes, be like, okay, my next question is it a good fit for me? yes or no, or something, you kind of drill down, or if you're like looking at possibilities, you're like, oh, well, could it be that they're gonna hire me in 6 months? No. Could it be that they're gonna hire me in 12 months? Yes. Am I gonna stay there for a long time? No, you know what I mean? And you just keep drilling, drilling down, and that's how you work with yes or no questions. And probably not to your surprise, a lot of men are really good with structuring questions that way. Like they like that because they can just keep coming up with them. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And you just keep going. So that's my advice on yes, no questions. Okay. Okay, and then what if you don't have a question? What if you don't have a question? What do you do then? All right. So this is 3-card spread. This is one of the most flexible spreads you can do in tarot. You can do 3-card spreads and make the spread positions anything. So if you don't have a particular question, then you could lay 3 cards and just do past, present, future. Like this is where I was, this is where I am, this is where I'm going, something like that. You can do something like the goal, the obstacle, the outcome, and that's coming from a very open, perspective. Not like I have this specific goal that I want to move to Canada. And you know what I mean? That's actually, but that, this is where you don't have a very specific question, like, how am I going to move to Canada? It's just like in a very open manner, like, okay, what's the goal here? What's the obstacle? What's the outcome? Looking from like this very broad point of view, plan A, plan B, plan C. Or you could just be talking about certain areas of your life, like family, work, health, or what you know, what you don't know, the advice. So that's the way that you can work when you don't have a very specific question, but you do feel like you need some guidance. So moving on from there, here's some other suggestions. If you don't have a specific question, you can say, what do I need to know right now? It's kind of an open-ended question, and then it's up to you to figure out how you want to lay that. Like, are you going to lay 1 card? Are you going to lay a couple cards? Are you going to lay 3 cards? Are you going to lay 2 cards and see what happens? And this is just where I'm saying you need to be thinking ahead, because I've seen a lot of people, like, they'll just like ask a question and they just start laying cards willy-nilly, like just slapping them down. And then it's like, but you don't know what any of that means because you didn't say what you want each of those cards to mean. So right there, you're going to confuse yourself. You're going to look at it and go, I don't know what that means, because you didn't stop and think before you put anything down. Another question you can ask when you don't have a very specific question: what is the biggest challenge in the next 3 months? What is the biggest victory in the next 3 months? That's one I like to ask. That one's kind of, that's very positive. It's like, yeah, what's going to be my biggest victory in the next 3 months? See what comes up. Or this is like a very, where am I? Where am I? That's very broad and open. But these kind of questions can work. When people come to me, sometimes I do a lot of parties and stuff. So a lot of times people don't have questions. And I will answer stuff like this if they're sincere, but sometimes if people aren't sincere and they're not focused, then I'm not going to be able to get any kind of coherent answer for them. So all things to think about. All right. Oh, okay. And then finally, what this last spread that I'm going to show you, and don't panic. If you're not a grammar person, don't panic right now. But you can do these oracular spreads, and once again, they're very open-ended, they're very broad. The answers can be kind of mysterious, kind of fortune cookies are even more specific than this. But it's like you could tease something out of it. We'll do examples. We'll do examples of all this, so don't panic. But you can do, like, you can lay 3 cards, and like one of them is a subject, the next one's a verb, and then the last one is like some kind of descriptor. So I wrote adverb, object, who, how, why, how much, some kind of descriptor. So when, like I said, if you're not a grammar person, don't panic. You'll probably just understand what it is each of these spaces mean. So there you go. So that's basically what I had for the presentation. And we can come back for clarification on any of that. Let me stop sharing. Oh, stop share. Okay. All right. Okay. So how's the stream so far? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everything's good? Let me know in the chat. Good. Everything good? Good, good. I'll give you a couple of seconds while I take a break here. Nobody's saying anything. I'm assuming you're hearing me. Okay. So we need to do some examples. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. I have one that somebody sent in, so I'll start with that. And that gives you guys time to put that in the chat while I'm doing that. And I'm going to switch the card cam. So let's switch the card cam. Carl says good. Okay, cool. Thumbs up. Thank you, Carl. Okay. Switching to card cam. Okay, so you should be able to see card cam in a second here. So this person asked, how can I advance myself towards my dream and career without causing trouble or pain for others? So there's two parts to this question, really. It's like, how can I advance myself towards my dream and career? And then there's this without causing trouble or pain for others part. So I think I will take it in two parts. So we'll start with, how can I advance myself towards my dream and career? Okay, so there's several different ways we can do it. I'm going to go back to I'm going to look at my presentation for a second here. The good part about this question is there is a how word in here, so that it's important to have, I know it sounds like duh, you need to have who, what, why, when, where, how questions, but sometimes people don't put those in there. They're just kind of, I don't know, they're not as specific and they're flopping around, so you have to work with their question. But this is good because she said, how can I advance myself? So let's start out with a 3-card spread. And my favorite spread, my relationship spread, that that those that I know Carl and I know Julia have seen it because you've been around me long enough. All right, so for this person that sent the question in, how can I advance myself towards my dream and career? All right, so, all right. So this is the person that asked the question. This is the dream and career, okay? So as far as this is advancing herself. Okay, so you see, I took that question and I broke it up. This is the person asking the question. This is the dream and the career. This is advancing towards it. Okay, so this person is showing up as the death card, and the dream and career is showing up as the 10 of fire. So it's looking very transitional. I mean, with these two cards, with the death card and the 10 of fire for this person. So she's going through this big transition. And with the 10 of fire here, it's like, yeah, it's like we're ending a cycle, starting a new one. There might be some burnout involved, something like that at the end of the rope. The way she will advance herself is with this Elder of Earth card. So this is about having like a very good skill set. This is about being a master of something. This is about being able to do something, being able to perform something, being able to support herself, all of those things. So, it makes me feel like the circumstances are like I said, in flux and very much changing. But I feel like she can rely on herself to support herself and get through it. So then if you know me, I like to pull a crossing card. So I'm like, anything that could get in the way would be the 6 of water. And so, the six of water is about pleasure and friendships and going with the flow, because it's a water card and feeling good and stuff. So maybe this is saying, like, it's like you don't take enough time for yourself. You don't stop and smell the roses. You don't enjoy things, because maybe you're so wrapped up in this transition, which seems fairly intense. It seems fairly intense. So that would be the answer. The answer would be like, hey, rely on the skills that you have, and don't forget to include other people and enjoy yourself along the way. Now, how do I want to put the without causing trouble or pain? Okay, so I would say, okay, so this is the person right here. And so I'm just going to cover up this card and go, this is other people that she's concerned about. And this is what's between her and other people that she's concerned about. So there's a concentration on this earth element here so that's like reliable output, doing what you say, working hard, all of these very earthy traits. So this could be the job she has, or maybe the person she's married to, but they're like, yeah, you're good at what you do, and you're reliable, and you always are there, and you support, and you have these skills, and we don't want that to change. We don't want that to change. And so that's their standpoint. And so what's between them is the 8 of Earth here. So once again, it's this idea of work and productivity, and kind of like slogging things out, paying attention to the details, doing the work, day in, day out. And so it's a working relationship, if you will. So what would happen if this person stepped towards their dreams with this relationship, or whoever they're worried about? Well, that would be them. Oh, let me slide this down. That would be them stepping out toward their dreams. That's what it would look like. So let me do one more card, and I will do the outcome. So the outcome is the Elder of Fire. So the outcome is that this person kind of changes roles, as kind of from the Elder of Earth to the Elder of Fire. And so this, you have to think about fire and earth and how these elements act. So with Elder of Fire, it's she can move a lot quicker. She can do stuff that really drives her or inspires her. And I feel like the overall advice here is that she has everything she needs. She's very capable of this. It's just about making the shift from being this elder to that elder. So I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave it there. So that's that question. So let me see. Does anyone else have a question? Somebody popped in here. Okay. Tiffany says, good afternoon to you. I was interested in knowing details of my future husband, like his exact birthday. I know he's going to be a Pisces, but where will I meet him and stuff? Okay, well, that's an interesting question. Let me see, what can we do with this one? All right. Okay, so for Tiffany, you want to know about your future husband. All right. So I think I'll do a three card spread, and I'll do what you know, what you don't know, and I've got a jumper there. I'm gonna put that to the side. That's the guardian of water as a jumper. What you know, what you don't know, and what do we want to do here? I'm trying to think of how to phrase like what to look for, like how will you know him? How will you know him? That's what I'm gonna make it. So what you know, what you don't know, how will you know him? Okay. All right. So, all right, what you know. Okay, what you don't know, how will you know him? Okay. So, all right. So what you know here is the 5 of water. So I think you know that you have to be flexible with your emotions. Like you can't get stuck on something or somebody. What you don't know is the 4 of earth. So this is about reliability and strength and building. So I'm wondering if this is about you or him. And then how will you know is the 3 of water. So the 3 of water, you'll know him because he's fun. Like you'll immediately have a connection and it'll be a fun connection. And it's like you already know that you have to be flexible with your emotions. But what you don't know is that, I guess I want to say like this is going to take time, or there's a whole process to it. And so, it's like, even though you'll know him because it is going to be fun and games, and he's going to be somebody that you spark with. It's like, well, what you don't know is that it's like, it's going to take time to build this relationship. So I wouldn't throw out any nuts just because it's like, it seems like it doesn't pan out or come together right away. I would be like, well, it's going to take some time to build the foundation. That's what I would say about that. Okay. All right. And then we can try an oracular, and then we have this jumper of the guardian of water here. So I think this was just confirming like this is a relationship question. I think that's what that was about. Okay, let me do I'll use this question for an oracular reading that I was talking about, like I said, which it may be strange. It may be, I don't know, mysterious the way it answers, but sometimes you can get things out of it. Okay, so let me see. Oracular reading. Okay, so this is the subject. This is the verb, and then this is a descriptor. Okay. So getting a lot of water cards and earth cards, water and earth today. Okay. So so I'm trying to make a sentence. The priestess, or the one who knows, shares between friends teaching and knowing. Oh, wait, no, it needs to be a descriptor. Okay. Okay, what did I say? The priestess, the one who knows, shares between friends, hard work. Okay, so that's the answer. That's the answer. Write it down. It may mean something later. That's an oracular reading. Okay, let's see if anybody else has showed up. Oh yes, more people are showing up. Okay, hello everybody. I'm gonna type in the chat. Okay. Okay, so we did Tiffany and Gushi saying it said, hey. Spiritual route. I wonder if I will be traveling a lot while doing my life mission, or is it just basically from home? Am I more physically surrounded by people who connect with me? Should I write to people? All right, so there's more than one question. All right, so will I be traveling a lot while doing my life mission? All right, so will you be traveling a lot with your life mission? Okay, so I'm just going to say, what does your life mission look like? So that is another thing with tarot when you're asking questions and doing spreads. It's a visual medium. So you can always ask, what does something look like? So like in this case, what does your life mission look like? Or you can be like, hey, if I choose option A, what would that look like? If I choose option B, what would that look like? So let's see what this person's spiritual route, let's see what spiritual route looks like. All right. So I always like to pull a card for the person. So this is spiritual route of the high priestess. Again, okay. So the knower, you're the knower spiritual route. And what does your spiritual route look like? It looks like, wow, I shuffled and I'm pulling the same cards. Okay. It looks like 8 of Earth. It looks like the Sun, and it looks like the Guardian of Air. So, okay. So with the Sun, this is like living your passion. With the Guardian of Air, this is like somebody that can make decisions and be managerial and all that stuff. And then we have the 8 of Earth, and this is like, I would say there might be teaching involved. So you're asking, are you going to be traveling, or is it from home? All right. So none of this is really speaking either or. So let's say, what's the possibility of traveling? Okay, so there is possibility of traveling, and there's a lot of options, and there's so many options that it might seem overwhelming and kind of hard, or it might be hard for you to. It's like you really want to, but you don't know how to. And so then we have staying at home. Staying at home, we have 8 of Fire. Every time I see 8 of Fire, I'm just like fast. That's just what I think in my house, fast. So then I always have to pull another card. Okay, so that's fast coming to an end is what's happening. So maybe you have, maybe you've been looking around, or maybe there's been offers or something for travel. But I think your days at working from home, or staying at home, or staying near home, I think those are coming to an end. So it's all about sorting out your options to where you're going next, is what I would say. Okay. And so for spiritual route, she also asks, am I more physically surrounded by people who connect with me? I'm not exactly sure what that means, so I'm going to skip it. And then, should I write a book? Okay, so that's a good one to come up. Should I? Because should I questions, those are like value judgments. And so it's like, I don't know, should you? I mean, according to who? So it's like, You can ask things like, would I make money if I wrote a book? Would I enjoy writing a book? Would writing a book further my career? Do I have the skills to write a book? You know, lots of different questions. So I will say, what happens? What happens if Spiritual Route writes a book? All right, Spiritual Route writing a book. What happens if you do that? Okay. All right. So we have the world. I like that. I like that. So that's beginning. But we're doing a 3-card. Let's do a 3-card. Beginning, middle, end. So and I don't read reversals. So beginning, we start with the world. So that really, I think a book would help tie things together for you, but that doesn't diminish the fact that it's like a big project. It's like the world upon your shoulders. It's like there's a lot to it. There's a lot in that book, but it would become for you. It would be like coming full circle, and it'd be a good thing for you to an exercise for you, so to speak. The middle part of you writing a book is the 6 of air. And so that is, I think it's a step in the right direction. The writing the book is a step in the right direction. And so you're going to have to kind of work that out mentally and kind of go through trial and error with it and figure out what it is that this book is supposed to be. And then the end of it is the child of fire. So, I think you brought up people in the middle, and I didn't quite understand the question. So I think the book can lead you to people that share the same interests as you, because that's the fire, like they share the same fire kind of thing. So I think writing a book could be a good idea, but do not minimize the fact that it is a big undertaking. That's what I would say. Okay. All right. So we got more people. Okay. So Carl says, what lies ahead of me for the second half of 2023? Okay. So Carl says, what lies ahead for me for the second half of 2023? All right. So I'm going to pull a card for Carl, and he's coming up as the child of Earth. So I think as the child of Earth, Carl, you're looking for some stability. You're looking to materialize some things. You're looking to get some things done. But with the child, you're kind of at the beginning stages, and you're kind of learning. You're learning certain skills and stuff that's going to play into what you want to materialize here. I don't want to use the word manifest, but what you want to materialize, what you want to build, what you want to create. And so that's where you are now. So for the second half of 2023, we're going to do what you know, what you don't know, and the advice. So what you know is the 10 of Earth. What you don't know is the 3 of Earth. And my, Earth. And the advice is the Wheel of Fortune. All right. So, with the 10 of Earth here, it's like I said, you're working on materializing things. You're working on skill sets. You're working on gathering resources and all of this for your projects. And what you know is this is a long-term project. You know that this is something that you want to last for many, many years to come, and to support you for many, many years to come. So it's like you're taking it very seriously. And it's a long-term commitment here. What you don't know is the 3 of Earth. And so, I think what you don't know is the other people who can help you and can be involved in this and kind of help you out. Because these people are working together, and it's kind of like many hands make light work kind of thing. Seeing this guy's alone, he's walking this path alone. It's like, yeah. So what you don't know is, like who can help you out. That there are people that can help you out, and who might be like on your team with this kind of thing. And then the advice is the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is is it going up? Is it coming down? We don't know. But the key with the Wheel of Fortune is you can't win if you don't play. So that's the thing. Like, if you don't take a spin on the roulette wheel, then you won't win anything. But there's definitely no guarantees that we don't know where it's going from here. So for the second half of 23? Yeah, the second half of 2023. You're going to be working hard. Hopefully you're going to be working with other people, and then who knows where this is all going to go. That's the whole thing. We don't know where it's going to go, but you're on the path. So that's that. All right. So Kushi Sani says the current feelings of S. Okay, so the current feelings of S. I'm assuming the current. I'm assuming this. You're asking about the current feelings of S toward you. That's how I'm going to read it. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Ask another question, I guess. So, okay. So let's do an oracular on that one. Oh, this is the oracular. Here we go. So just to remind you, the oracular is where we have a subject, a verb, and then a descriptor. So this is the current feelings of S toward Kushi. All right. All right. So that's subject. Wow. Why these cards that keep coming up? All right. Okay. So, wow. All right. So I got something funny. I saw this as makeup sex. That's what I saw right away. Makeup sex is so much fun. That's what I got. That's what I got. So I don't know. I don't know if I even answered the right question. So I'm moving on. Okay, Debbie McDonald says, would like a reading, please. Future reading, please. I am a Gemini. Okay. Okay, so future reading. So we need to do, I need to do like a 3-card with the future. Okay. So future for Debbie, and let's do my example of family, work, health. Family, work, and you know what? This is another example here. I usually like to put a time frame on there, so I'm going to put a time frame on it of 6 months. Because if you're just like, yeah, like, what's the future? Like, are we talking 10 years? And then I always tell people, you're not even going to remember this reading 6 weeks from now, much less 10 years from now. So, so basically, I'm saying I don't go out 10 years because there's kind of no point. So I'm going to go out 6 months for Debbie's reading. Okay. All right. What are we doing? We're doing family, work, health. Family, work, health. Okay, family. Do you see me shuffle? Family, work, health. Okay. Lordy. Okay, so family. Family looks good. Family looks solid. Family looks together. Yeah, family looks focused. I like family. Work. If there's anything that you need to be doing at work, I would do it sooner rather than later. And then also know that you may have to like defend your position on something, or you may have to defend something that you're doing at work. But I don't think any of this is going to be bad, because this is Mars Leo. So we've got Mars in Leo right now. So like right now, I feel like it's kind of a critical point for you to like I said, defend whatever it is you're doing, work hard on whatever you're doing, move quickly, and you'll be fine. And then Mars will be out of Leo, I don't know, in a month or so, and that'll be that for work. And then health is 6 of air. So if there are any health problems, I would say you're on the right track to getting balanced. You may be gathering information, and you're headed in the right direction. You're barking up the right tree with the health stuff. That's what I would say. Okay. Okay, spiritual route says yes, would writing my book further my career. Okay. All right, so let's go back to spiritual route and the book. All right, spiritual route and the book. Would writing my book further my career. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do the relationship spread. Okay, so this is spiritual route. This is the book, and this is what is between them. So, wow. Okay, so there's a lot of anxiety around this book, or it's just like you're just kind of wrapped up in knots a little bit about it. And it's just the thought of like, should I even bother? Is it going to further my career? I mean, I'm kind of in the same point myself. I don't want to like blab on about myself, but it's like, I'm going back to this book that Julia knows the book that never gets published, but I always talk about. And it's so I understand that feeling. The book, I love the book because it's like the teacher, and I think that came up. I don't really remember what I said before, but I feel like it was like you wanted to teach something, or something was coming with teaching with the book or something, sharing information. So I like that. And then as far as career goes, this is what lights you up. And so I would say with that, what that does is that helps attract people. Like if I saw pentacles or something, I'm like, yeah, that's money. You can sell it. It's going to support you, things like that. But at least it's putting you in this position where it's like you're lit up and you're able to like kind of stoke your own fires. And so if you're doing what you love, that should be a good career move. It should be, but that's kind of for you to answer. Because if you're at a point where you're like, well, I just really need to make some money like yesterday, then maybe that's not the best career thing, or maybe it is, because maybe it is, it's just lights you up so much, it gives you the power to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So let me do the crossing card. The crossing card is 3 of fire. So yeah, so this is where it's like, you kind of have to think about what are the goals of this writing the book, because you're like, will it help my career? And it's like, well, what is it you really want to achieve? That's for you and the book. So there you go. Okay. Dr. Visa says, may I ask about current feelings, no contact. Abdul current feelings, no contact. Okay. All right. So Dr. Fiza is asking about Abdul's current feelings. I guess she or he hasn't talked to that person. All right. So we want to know about the current feelings of Abdul. All right. So okay. I'm like thinking, should I do an oracular reading? Should I do one of these 3 cards? Okay. Okay, how about I'm going to do a 3 card for Abdul's feelings, and I'm going to make it this, that, but. This, that, but. This, that, but. With these 3 cards, I mean, this is kind of, I was going to say I should do a live just on the 3 cards, but this kind of is alive just on the 3 cards. Okay. So this, that, but Abdul's feeling. And I'm going to do this because I keep picking up the same cards. I don't want to do that anymore. All right. Abdul's feelings. Abdul's feelings. All right. Abdul's feelings. This, that, but. Okay, I don't read reversals. All right. Okay. So, okay, so Abdul's feelings are excitement and attraction. And I mean, this can definitely be sexual attraction. And that, okay, so it's like we have feelings of attraction, and that thing is it's creative energy, and he really likes your creative energy, but somehow there's some kind of unequal exchange here. So his feelings is like, yeah, I really dig you, but there's something not even here. There's something uneven, unequal exchange. So I don't, you can think about that, or you can ask another question or something, but it's there's something where it's like he doesn't feel like there's a give and take here for some reason. Okay. All right, Chrissy Black. Oh, no, deleting. Okay. Galatians says, hello, when will my legal case come to a close? Okay, this is a good one because someone asked a when. So my favorite way to answer when questions is to you just lay it out. Like you pick the time frame and you lay it out. So instead of just going, oh, when is it going to happen? And you put a card and you're like, oh, what does that mean? You go, okay, is it going to happen in 2 weeks? Is it going to happen in 6 weeks? Is it going to happen in 3 months? Right. And since that's what I just blurted out, that's what I'm going to lay down. So when will the legal case come to a close? 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to go with 3 months because here we have, this is the seeker or the fool. And so this is a whole new chapter. This is a whole new chapter. So it's like, you're free to go on your way and do whatever you need to do because everything's come to an end by then. So that's what I feel. I mean, it could be something like, what did I say? This was 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it was. Like it could come to a close then, and then it's kind of like whatever needs to be worked out because of it ends up being the 3 months later. You see what I'm saying? But on the longest end would be 3 months that everything's going to be wrapped up. Put it that way, wrapped up in 3 months. Okay. All right. Galatians says, I'm a reader too, born and raised in New York City. Thank you for your time. Well, thanks for showing up, Galatians. Okay, looks like we're at the end of the questions at the end. So let me give everybody another couple of minutes here. If you have a last minute question, then ask. If not, I'll wrap it up. If anybody has any questions about how to do the readings, because that was kind of the point, let me know. Galatians says, I'm a sweetheart. Thanks again. Well, thank you, Galatians. Yes. Okay. So I don't see any other questions about doing spreads. So, yeah. So my website is Quick Card Reading. Let me put that in there. That is my website. You can sign up for courses on how to learn tarot. Oh, Carl, I see your question. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So at my website, you can sign up for classes about how to learn tarot. You can also download free tarot cards, or you can book a reading with me. You can do all those things there. Okay. Carl says, will I move my home to a new place? Okay. All right. So, I'm going to put a time frame on that, Carl. So I'm going to say, since we were talking about 2023 earlier, I'll say in 2023. So will Carl, and yes, Galatians, you can ask another question. Okay, so Carl says, will I move my home to a new place in 2023? All right. Okay. Okay, so let's do a past, present, future on this one. Past, present, future for Carl. Okay. All right. So in the past, we have that. In the present, we have that. And in the future, we have that. All right. So past, we have child of air. Present, we have explorer of earth. Future, we have explorer of water. So just so you know, like what I would be looking for is like, if he was going to stay in the same place, I would want to see some kind of similarity or resonance here between the past and the future. But I'm not really seeing that. So, in the past we have child of air. So that, that's an inquisitive type of thing, that's asking questions, trying different things. The future is the explorer of water. And so, this is questing, this is, I see it as Pisces energy too. So, I mean, this could be foreign places. This could be, this is like, crossing the waters and stuff. So I feel like in 2023, your new home could be in a new place. It could be near water. We could just take it from like, it never hurts to read the cards literally. Like it may be near water. Right now, you're planting the seeds for that. But I feel like it's like, yeah, I feel like in 2023, you're moving. That's what I feel like. All right. So Galatians, what is the purpose of Valentina coming into my life? Okay, so that was a good for you, those of you who were here at the beginning when I was talking about more broadly based questions. That's a good broadly based question. So it's like, what's the purpose of Valentina coming into this person's life? This is the 10,000-foot view. If we were in a plane looking down and we could see the map of her whole life, this is what we would see. So what are we going to see here? What is the purpose? All right. So this is Galatians. This is Valentina. And then this is the purpose. Okay. So the purpose of Valentina is to bring out your self-expression and your creativity and your soul power, your creative spark. That's the purpose. So yeah, so you're somebody that can work with other people and get things done. And Valentina is, I think she's a teacher for you, and she's master of earth, and you work with earth. And so it's like she has a skill set or can make things happen, or just knows how to work with things in a way, like I said, that it brings out the best in you. Like I said, it's really bringing out your self-expression and your soul expression and your creative expression. So that's nice. That's a very nice reading right there. That's very nice. Okay. Spiritual route, thank you. You are correct. My work is all about teaching. Okay. Spiritual route says focus on job for money or go full throttle on my life mission. All right. Okay. So spiritual route, this is a 2-option question. So spiritual route, asking focus on job for money or go full throttle on life mission. Okay. And then if I was your counselor, I'd be like, why do you feel like your life mission does not involve making money? But I'm not, and so we're not going there. But I'll do the cards. I'll do the cards. Okay. Okay. So focus on a job to make money, or go full throttle on your life mission. Okay. So you got 2 9s. You got 2 9s. So, okay, so, this card, this 9 of fire, which is the 9 of wands in other decks, that's the one where you show that it shows the guy with a bunch of swords behind him, and he's standing there like kind of leaning on, or not swords, I mean wands. He's kind of leaning on one wand, and he has like a bandage on his head, you know what I mean? So it's like, this whole job for money thing you're very battle weary from it, but you are at the end of the road with it also, like where it's about to turn. So something could pop in the job area. Like, I wouldn't throw it out the window at this point. It's like, because you're here with the 9, so it's like there should be some kind of manifestation coming through on the job front if you hold on for a minute. With doing the spiritual route with the 9 of water, this is very receptive energy, the 9. So this is very active energy. This is very receptive energy. So that's where it's like you have to open to receive. So I want to say it's not really an either or kind of thing. It's a both and kind of thing, because it's like you're working both the masculine and the feminine. It's like you let the life mission in while you're battling it out on this making money for your time, or whatever it is you do. So I'll put one more card, final advice, the Emperor. So yeah, so you're building foundations. So you need to think about what kind of structure are you building? What do you want that structure to look like? Like, do you want it to look like the Bat Cave? Do you want it to look like the Munsters house? Do you want it to look like the Taj Mahal? Do you want it to look like an office building? What is it that you're really building here? So that's the answer. Okay. All right. Succulent Dream says, are these for free? Yes, but I'm just about ready to wrap it up. So Succulent Dreams, if you want to ask a question real quick, answer it, and that'll be the last one that I do. And after Bray P, who says, how does he feel towards me versus third party? Okay. All right. So Bray P, how does he feel towards me versus the third party? Okay. All right. So this is a love triangle question. Which lends itself to a 3-card spread. All right. So. All right. So this is the person asking the question. Okay. And this is the person that she's asking about. And this is the third party. Okay. So, okay. So the person you're asking about needs to make a decision, and they're aware that they may need to make a decision. When it comes to the third party, there's something about the third party that works for this person. And there's, so, this is a love triangle, because I mean, it's like this is the juggling energy. This is the kind of like going 2 different ways energy. And it's like, I got to make up my mind, but I got a couple different things going on. I don't know if you have a couple different things going on besides this person too. But like if I had to like put a bet on somebody, it would be the third party. But the fact that the person you're asking about isn't making up their mind just makes me feel like it's kind of a moot question, because I don't know if they're ever going to make up their mind. So because this really does have a very love triangle-y feel to it, and you know those usually don't, like that's usually not good. Like nothing good comes out of a love. Does anything good come out? I mean, am I wrong? Does anything good come out of a love triangle? I don't know. I don't think it does, but that's what I'm saying. That person needs to make up their mind. I don't know if they're going to make up their mind. So there you go. Okay, Succulent Dream says, thank you. What steps can I take at this time to attract physical financial abundance? All right. Steps for physical financial abundance. Okay. So Succulent Dreams. All right, Succulent Dreams, physical financial abundance, Succulent Dreams. All right, so this is Succulent Dreams, and this is the physical financial abundance. All right, and so then I'm going to put the steps between. The steps are going to be between. So Succulent Dreams, you're the Ace of Earth. So yeah, so it's like you're starting something here. You're starting this physical financial abundance. It's just a little baby. It's a little baby sprig right now. You're just starting. And so, you know, this physical financial abundance, you're definitely looking at it like winning the lottery or pennies from heaven or something, you know, a windfall, like something weird happens and you end up with a bunch of money. So this is one of those things where it's like, if I were your counselor, I might want to dig into that a little bit, but I'm not going to, and I'm not going to. And so I'm just gonna do the steps. I'm gonna do the steps. So what are the steps to get you from here to here? So we have, I'm gonna put 3 cards. All right. So this is what you know, what you don't know, and the advice. So, you know, what you know is that you're going to really have to get out there and shake the trees and get the lay of the land and come up with a strategy and, you know, like get a move on it. Like you understand that. What you don't know is, you know, this is about things ending. So let me put one more card because I don't know. Okay. So I want to say this has something to do with, it's like there's going to be a lot of different iterations, and you can't, like, have you ever heard like kill your darlings? Like you can't get super attached to any of these ideas or any of these plans or prospects that you have, because you're going to have to go through a bunch of them. So just get used to that right now. And then the advice is, and this came up for someone else too, is like to be open and receptive. And so, yeah, so one part of you is, like I said, going to be on the move, looking for opportunities, figuring stuff out, asking questions, getting the lay of the land, doing all this stuff, going through like many iterations, all this stuff. But at the same time, you have to, in the face of all this stuff that doesn't work, it's like you have to stay open. And then you get to that place where it's like you have that lucky turn of the wheel, you know, and it all comes. So that is that. All right. So let me stop the screen share or this card cam. Stop the card cam. Zoom meeting. Ta-da, here I am. Hi, so this was great. I'm glad a bunch of people showed up. Maybe I'll come back next Friday. This seems to be a good time. I don't know if any of you who came and asked for readings, if you're interested in learning tarot at all, because that was, like I said, that was kind of the point of the stream. And if you go back and look at the recording, I give you some ideas about how to ask questions and how to put spreads together, if that's something that you're interested in. But if you're not, I'm glad you were here to ask questions, because that's kind of my thing. Is when I teach, I don't like to just talk out my ass. I like to work with real questions, real people and real questions, and not just make shit up, because I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So it was helpful to have people here asking actual questions. So, you can always subscribe to my channel and hit the bell, because when I'm live, it will let you know. So that's how that works. You probably already know that, but if you didn't know that, that's how it works. And I'm going to put my website in the chat again, in case you want a reading, or you want some tarot education. You can get some free classes over there. And so that is that. So I'm going to sign off and say good night. Have a happy Friday, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.